Hello and welcome to Fat Cat Foods Presents Cooking with Canes. I'm Fonz and today's recipe is Bratwurst Extravangaza. To start off with, over here on the grill we got 4 beer brats going and a link of beef smoked sausage. Now, the reason why it's Bratwurst Extravaganza, brats are great for the grill and traditional at tailgates. We want to spice it up, make it special, and bring the people to your tailgate. So, first thing we're going to do, now that the brats are cooking on low, we're going to saute some onions, green pepper, and garlic. Now you're wondering, how are we going to do this on the grill? Well, here's the first trick. In an old aluminum pot, preferably not a plastic handle, you got to be careful with that, and throw it on the grill. Now you might say, that doesn't work. It actually does. With a gas grill, it's just like as if you're cooking inside. If you use a charcoal grill, which we tend to do a lot, what you can do is you take the pile of charcoal and leave it right in the middle of the grill. This way you can have the brats cooking on the outside around the charcoal, and you put the pot right in the middle. And it'll give you just enough heat to saute everything that we want for our Bratwurst Extravaganza. So now we got the pot on the grill, throw in some oil so we can get the saute going. We're ready to fly. Alright, now that we have our brats cooking on low and we got the oil in our pan nice and hot, the next thing to do is start the sauteing. So what we're going to do is take our cutting board, and I like having everything pre-cut already, makes it a little bit easier. And we're going to throw in there first the onions, listen to it sizzle, and then the green peppers right on top. So just keep stirring it. In this case, since it's a gas grill, we can keep it on high. And swirl it around, don't want anything to burn, get stuck to the bottom. The idea here is to reduce the onions and green peppers just enough so the liquid from the vegetables come out and stay at the bottom of the pan. Now what we have going, the brats are here on low. On the right side, we have the pot on high, some olive oil, and what we've done is chopped up half a yellow onion, half a green pepper. We have them sauteing in the pot. Now the goal here is to saute them so the vegetables reduce. By reducing, the liquid from the onions and green peppers get released into the pot, and that's where the flavor comes from. Once that's ready, we'll then have a half a head of chopped garlic, which will go into
you have to edit this
as well.
Sorry.
So what we have going on right now is the onions and green peppers are in the pot. What's going to happen is we keep stirring it, make sure nothing burns, and we're trying to reduce the vegetables and the vegetables that are in the pot. This way, the liquid comes out, and that flavor from the vegetables will be in the pot. So what's going to happen is, once those are ready, we'll throw some garlic on top, get it nice and sauteed. The brats will be just about finished cooking. We're going to chop those up and pour them in the pot as well. Then comes the secret ingredient. How do you bring all the flavors together? Well, the trick to that is going to be one of the Fat Cat sauces. For this one, I like using the Mexican style habanero. With all the vegetables in there, the brats, and the sausage, you throw the sauce in there and you let everything come to a simmer. Once that's ready, throw it into a bun and it's going to be delicious. Now we've had the onions and green peppers in the pot, sauteing for about 5 to 7 minutes. Now here's the key. If you look at the onions and green peppers, you see that around the edges it's starting to get a little bit of brown. And if you compare this to the onions and green peppers when we put them in, you can see it's almost reduced or shrunk down a little bit. That's how the flavor is taken out of the vegetables and becomes part of the liquid that's in the pot. So now, since those take longer than the garlic, what we're going to do is take half a head of chopped fresh garlic and add it into the pot to saute as well. So now we have the onions, green peppers, and garlic nice and sauteed. You see here, it's nice and reduced, and we get the nice liquid from the vegetables. Now on the gas grill, we have this down on low. Even on a charcoal grill, then what you can do is, since the charcoal's in the middle, move the pot off to the side, and that'll simulate low fire. Now you can see here, our brats are ready to go. So what we're going to do is take them off the grill, throw them onto the cutting board, And here's the thing. We're going to chop them up. You can chop them however you like, but I always prefer the angle method. Why? Because this way, when you put everything in your bread, it tends to fit a lot better. There we go, nice angle cuts. There's one brat. Cut up the other. So the idea is, now we'll mix the juices of the brat, the sausage, the onions, the green peppers, and the garlic. And that will give us a delicious combination. But of course, we won't be done yet. So now we have our smoked beef sausage. Again, this is to taste, but I always feel having a little smoky taste in your Bratwurst Extravaganza gives it that little extra hint of deliciousness. In my experience, cooking this in the parking lot, when people taste that smoky taste from the sausage here, the beef sausage, that's when they look at you and say, there's something different about this, something interesting. And that's what you want. Now that I have everything chopped up, go over here into our pot with everything sauteed. Drop the sausage and the brats in there. Take these off the grill. And give it a nice stir. There we go. So again, we're keeping this on low. Oh, gas grill, it's on low. Charcoal grill, it's going to be off to the side. Now we're going to let that sit there and cook on a simmer for about another 5 to 10 minutes. We have finished cutting up all of our brats and sausages. Put them into the pot with the onions, green peppers, and garlic. And stir them around. Now this has been cooking for about 2 to 3 minutes. However, we want to give it an extra kick and really bring this recipe together. Now to finish it off, our secret ingredient is the Fat Cat sauces. For this one in particular, we like the Mexican style habanero. Just enough spice, just enough consistency to bring together the Bratwurst Extravaganza. We're going to take our bottle, give it a little shake, pour it in. For this one, 4 brats, half a link of sausage. You can probably use about half the bottle. Close that up right there. Give it a good stir, and you'll see how the sauce just coats everything in our pan. So, like I said, this has been cooking for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now the sauce is in here. We'll cook it for another 5 to 7 minutes on simmer on low, and then we can finish it off. Alright, now we have the Bratwurst Extravaganza simmering for about 7 minutes with the sauce. As you can see, the flavors have come together and made a nice consistency in the pot. The great thing is, as long as you keep it on low, with enough sauce at the bottom, it will not burn. Because you know what? Tailgates get busy, got a friend over here, friend over there. You don't want to burn this delicious meal that you've been working on all day. So keep it on low, sauce at the bottom. Now for the grand finale. We like using potato rolls because they're fluffy and delicious. Now take your scooper, load it up with the brats, the sausages, onions, and green peppers. There you go. The bread will absorb the juice very nice. And now, my friends, you're cooking with Canes.